You deserve it. Don't ask questions. Please watch this new video from the B1M. Why New York billionaires rows half empty.
This is Billionaire's Row. You've probably seen these buildings on social media. They're a stretch of homes in New York City that only the world's richest people can afford to live in.
Billionaire's Row here in New York City set off a super slender skyscraper revolution. Today, those towers are an astounding display of wealth, prestige, and engineering firsts. But they're also kind of empty.
No, we didn't see this. You guys literally also watch XQC, and XQC probably saw this, okay? It's the most annoying thing when motherfuckers are like, I saw this already. Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you, okay? Like, I'm sorry that, like, the dude who streams 17 hours every day already fucking watched it, and you watched it with him, okay? Jesus Christ.
Back on the ground, finding an apartment for us non-billionaires is, well, take it from a New Yorker.
New York City housing is a scam. It is a scam, 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 scam. Woo!
3 years ago this very week, we released a video called The Rise and Rise of New York's Billionaires Row. But now we want to look at its legacy. How did it come about? Why are so many of those apartments still sitting empty? And what does all that mean for the world of wealth and construction and the city itself?
Midtown Manhattan. It is here that one of the first skyscrapers was built.
New York is about building the tallest building and then coming back and building a taller building.
There is only one Billionaire's Row in the world, and it's in New York City. And it's on
Oh, that's our
57th
guy.
Street, and it's all for profit.
He's the lonely man.
Beverly Hills has its mega mansions, but when it comes to sheer stratospheric cost, New York City really may have them beat.
Oversupply in the sky. You actually look down on the Empire State Building.
Worth it. It is a safety deposit.
Hasan, I asked a Turkish friend of mine if they knew you. Their answer was that you belong to a religious terrorist gang. Is that true? I'm sorry, what? Do I even strike you as a religious person, particularly? Like, you met a Turkish person who said I was a fucking Gülenist or something? Who not only is a fucking zealot and a religious cult, but even worse than that, a religious cult that works at the behest of the State Department? Like the American CIA asset, Fethullah Gülen. Hasan, I met a student from America here in Germany yesterday by chance. After I asked him if he knew you, he said with a laugh, This Hasan is a terrorist. All Americans hate him. May I have your opinion? Why does he think so? Wow, this guy is... Hasan, you are a streamer and also a role model for some. Bro, he went from look at these R words to Hasan, you're a streamer and also a role model for some. To put a person down like that is not nice of you. Apologize to him and just ban him. This could lead to psychological problems with him. This guy hates America. Do you also own Krugerrand gold coins to make tax-free payments? Saw it today at the golf club. Smile. What? Where is this going? What is this dude on? Anyway, what is this one? Wait, hold on. We're going to get to the Billionaires Row video in a second. This is a 4chan chatter who likes this to say, hey, yo, look at Hasan's chat. The common wisdom is that China is the more stable state due to how it handled COVID. Here's an interesting counterfactual. Could a China that underwent 800,000 deaths and leadership crises and recurrent waves be as stable as America is today after all that? Wait, what the fuck? I love this counterfactual. America is super stable, bro. You're right.
In the sky for some of the richest people in the world.
Some of the buildings on Billionaire's Row are quite beautiful and amazing constructs, but we're at a moment in society where there's a widespread great reckoning with the abuses of power and the concentrations of wealth.
Just south of Central Park sit some of the most exclusive homes anywhere in the world. There are no official gates to Billionaire's Row, but the name refers to a handful of buildings on and around West 57th Street. Nestled alongside iconic New York landmarks like Carnegie Hall, the Russian Tea Room and the Plaza Hotel, you'll also find 432 Park Avenue, 53W53, 111W57, 157 and Central Park Tower. A little further out you have 220 Central Park South, 520 Park Avenue and 252 East 57th Street.
Now, it wouldn't be a B1M video if we didn't look at the engineering of these incredible, mind-bendingly slender towers. Skyscrapers have been getting progressively taller and thinner for years, but...
Yeah, except one of them, the most famous one, is currently being sued because of how unlivable the fucking tower is and how much it shakes, too, even when you're not... even when you're not, like, considering... you know, having the elevators not run, when you're considering the fact that like apparently there's like leaking shit like that. Even when you don't consider all that, the tower just shakes.
Billionaire's Row has given rise to a whole new breed of skyscraper entirely. The super slender residential tower.
One of them literally melts cars. Yeah. Dude, I think it's perfect though. Like billionaires deserve to be in that janky ass fucking tower of like that represents the audacity that humans have. That like they would fucking rather, you know, build an ivory tower so fucking tall and so insane in a real estate market where like I don't know, with a real estate market that's like so bananas. They deserve that. They deserve that shit. Let them forcibly live in that shit.
Comes at a premium, which means if you want to build big, you've got to build up. To develop the small sites they'd secured with buildings tall enough to offer Central Park views, developers on Billionaire's Row spent years acquiring the air rights for the properties around their lots.
Let's be real, none of them live there though, totally, of course. They just own it.
That meant they could combine those new air rights to build their property taller and ensure those nearby buildings couldn't block their newly built views of Central Park. It's kind of like piecing together a very expensive puzzle. New York's building code considers a building slender if it has a width to height ratio of 1:7, but the towers over on Billionaire's Row go far beyond that. 157 was the first of the bunch to complete in 2014 with a ratio of 1:8. Then came 432 Park Avenue with a ratio of 1:15. From there, 53 West 53rd, 111 West 57th Street and Central Park Tower all joined the ranks of super slender skyscrapers on Manhattan's skyline. Today, the thinnest of the bunch is 111 West 57th Street. The 85-story building is officially the world's thinnest skyscraper. It's just 18 metres wide but rises to 435 metres in height. That's a width to height ratio of 1:24. Put it next to the Empire State Building or One World Trade Center and you start to get an idea of just how astoundingly thin these new super slender buildings really are. But building so slender comes with its own unique structural challenges. Stiffening the structure is the key to maintaining stability. The materials have to be strong enough to keep the building steady, and concrete is often used to construct the core of the building. And of course, when you're 400 meters in the air, you have to think about the wind. To keep the building from swaying too much, 111 West 57th Street has an 800-ton tuned mass damper or giant swinging weight at the top, which works almost like a shock absorber in a car. Skyscrapers are always going to move a bit in the wind, but the goal is to reduce the sway enough so residents don't notice. Central Park Tower and 53W53 both have setbacks that help to break up strong air currents and reduce the overall wind load acting on the building. And over at 432 Park Avenue, engineers left out the glass on the mechanical floors to let the wind flow through the structure. Of course, we do have to acknowledge some of the issues that have cropped up now that construction's finished. Residents of 432 Park Avenue sued the developers for a series of construction issues, including flooding, power outages, faulty elevators,
oh, there it is,
and a noise caused by the building swaying in the wind.
There it is.
We reached out to CIM Group for comment on this lawsuit, but no one's come back to us. Now, there's a logic to the super slender tower. The taller you build, the more value you can squeeze out of that small plot of land that you were able to find on Manhattan Island. But these towers have even fewer units than similar buildings. Just take 111 West 57th Street. It has 60 units across 85 stories. Now, compare that to the Trump World Tower, built 20 years earlier, and you'll see that has 376 units.
Myth is here. We're currently watching Billionaire's Row. And why it's... Dude, you smell great. Wait, is that Hermes? Yeah. I think I have the same cologne that you do. No. Do you know what it is?
I forgot the name of it. I could find you later.
Are you drinking a white monster?
What up, Marat?
Marat is dude, you look like that's perfect for you.
The white monster?
The white monster is perfect for you.
So we need some upgraded chairs in this bitch.
Okay, I know. We're gonna upgrade the chairs. Herman Miller, send me some fucking chairs, please. What the fuck?
This motherfucker.
Marat, come say hello.
Hello.
No, you don't have to be that close to the... You need a couch? The couch is not conducive to, like, conversation, though, because I'm sitting here. How the fuck would I put a couch here? Then it would be weird. The couch has arms. You guys don't know what you're talking about.
What about a love chair?
Yeah. A love chair?
Low seat?
Why would it... Okay, Marat, get out of here.
Just saying.
Baba artık sizi duyabilirler, haberin olsun arkada. Because the noise gate is off. Okay, so yeah, this is Billionaire's Row. They build here. The short and sweet of it so far is that they have like these gross fucking massive exorbitant towers that are somewhat unlivable, and also have they don't even make good use of space. But it's like a statement piece. Most of these billionaires just buy it as an investment vehicle, and they don't even fucking live in it. And they're talking about that, yeah.
Over 90 stories.
What the fuck?
To make the construction of a super slender tower worth it, you have to make those units really, really, really expensive.
What?
And that's where realtors like Ryan Serhant come in.
Are they like
Ryan
apartments
at
or
the
some
offices
shit?
of
Like,
Serhant, his luxury real estate firm based
just
here
don't
in
live in them,
Manhattan.
really.
Take me to the world of Billionaire's Row. What's it like, and how is it different to other luxury real estate elsewhere in Manhattan?
57th Street, Billionaire's Row, is a pretty global demographic. So there's a lot of pied-à-terre, so part-time owners. There's a lot of investor owners. You know, we're selling the penthouse right now, 432 Park, for $169 million US. The owner's never been there. And it's an investment, you know, it's an asset. It's like owning, you know, a Picasso. New York City had status symbol projects prior to Billionaire's Row, but never like it does now. Before you'd say, hey, where do you live? 41 East 66th Street. You'd say,
if you own a property, somebody should have to live in it. There should be there should be someone in it.
No, keep spitting. Keep spitting.
What?
Go ahead.
Wait.
Go ahead, dude. No, keep spitting.
What is that? It doesn't make any sense for me for there to be a $169 million estate when, like, you know, you got a maybe like a mother of four, family of four, living in downtown Detroit, going to public Detroit school education, where the parents are protesting 24/7, or the teachers are protesting 24/7 that they don't get fucking paid. Or damn, put a teacher in that bitch you know? But that is literally, it's just doing nothing. It would devalue it.
That was awesome.
Devalue it.
Well, yeah, no, Murad is right. The entire American economy is built around the concept of owning private property. Private property is different than personal property. Personal property would be a house like this, for example, but a private property would be a house that you buy as an investment vehicle. And Americans love utilizing their houses as an investment vehicle, and the government needs to, in every step, in every way, shape, or form, protect that investment vehicle for them, which is precisely why they rarely ever engage in things that would depreciate or decrease the value of houses that people live in, like Section 8 housing or public housing, social housing, things like that. These measures that are absolute necessity for people, considering that they are motherfuckers living in the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is insane. We're the richest country on the planet, and we got homies living on the fucking street, dying on the streets. So. That is absolutely. This is just like a larger version of that. You're getting a snapshot of how fucking terrible it is by looking at the worst.
And some of these buildings are just
excesses.
built as like, look how big my building is and how many millions of dollar apartments it has. Look how big it is.
We've commoditized living space, and we need to exclude people from those spaces to extract surplus value from everyone else. Is disgusting and gross.
Was that accurate?
Yes, that is. Well, that's Marxist. What that Marxist is saying is
no, not what he was saying, but like look at my building, it's so large.
Yeah, I mean that's just one other element of that for sure.
Look.
But most normal human beings that like practice even a fraction of empathy recognize what Ali is saying here is not all that different from.
Do you know what I heard?
What'd you hear?
The Empire State Building was the dude that like owned the Empire State Building was in competition with somebody that owned another building in New York. And so when I chat, maybe some of you guys can help me here. But when somebody outbuilt the Empire State Building, and so the Empire State Building was like, you know what? We're gonna just add more. We're gonna do an extension. Like I want my building to be bigger.
To the Chrysler Building?
Is that true? And it was like a multi-million-dollar project or some shit, just for the sake of like, damn dude, our building needs to be bigger.
Didn't you hear that when after 9/11, Trump Tower was the tallest building in New York, dude?
Yeah, Donald Trump famously on a phone call, I think to a radio station or something, was like, 9/11, very bad, very tragic, but also made my tower, the Trump Tower, the largest tower
station
in Wall Street. Believe me, yeah, the biggest tower, the tallest tower. Here.
I have such a tall tower. They're the tallest now. 9/11 a shame, but
20 years after 9/11, we can still hear Donald Trump's reaction to terrorist attacks. Yeah.
What a shame.
Wait, where the fuck is the video? Chad, do you have the video? I can't. It's not showing for some reason here. Yeah, he called into a TV station, WWOR.
Oh.
And he basically said 40 Wall Street actually was the second tallest building in downtown Manhattan, and it was before the World Trade Center was the tallest. And then when they built the World Trade Center, it became known as the second tallest. Pauses. And now it's the tallest.
The real shame is chat can't see for you.
True.
Here.
Donald, you have one of the landmark buildings down in the financial district, 40 Wall Street. Did you have any damage, or what's happened down there?
Well, it was an amazing phone call I made. 40 Wall Street actually was the second tallest building in downtown Manhattan, and it was actually, before the World Trade Center, was the tallest. And then when they built the World Trade Center, it became known as the second tallest, and now it's the tallest. And I just spoke to
Donald.
I hope the afterlife exists.
By the way, Türkler de diyorlar. Arkadan ailen duyuyor. Her şeyi duyuyorlar. Haberiniz olsun yani. Yok çünkü şu anda noise gate. There's no noise gate. So if mom and dad are gonna converse, I'm just letting you know they can hear everything. Can you go tell them? Please. Bir de kapıyı da kapatır mısın bir de Murat? Gel ama istiyorsan yani.
I said this on my stream today. I hope the afterlife exists. Inshallah.
Oh, so that Donald Trump can rot in hell? Is that what you're saying?
So that a lot of people could rot in hell.
Yeah.
Like I am really hoping. I'm not a firm believer, but like I hope it exists. No kizzy.
No kizzy.
Like, if you want to be on this earth and be like, yeah, I just don't really give a fuck about other people or, like, you know, anything in general, and I'm just going to live my life out to the fullest. Ooh, yeah, I'm a rock star. Yeah, like.
Inshallah, no kizzy.
That's crazy, though. That is some, like, just straight up. That was our president. Woo!
Let's keep going.
Cool. Where's that? Now you can say, where do you live? 432? Ah. It's a brand, right? It's like a Birkin bag. Where do you live? 157. Where do you live? 111. Where do you live? 220. You don't even.
Saranoid, thank you for the 5 get the subs. By the way, that's a good reminder that 5 people will no longer see the top of the hour ad break right now because of Saranoid, but it's coming. I totally forgot because Myth walked in, but at the top of the hour, we have a 60-second ad break. If you want an uninterrupted broadcasting experience, though, you can subscribe or be lucky to be one of the lucky people that Saranoid gifted a sub to. Or make your own luck. Or make your own luck for free with a Twitch Prime that is free. Have you been playing Tarkov?
No.
You never played Tarkov? Or?
I played Tarkov before like once or twice, but I haven't played it. I
was fucking bopping. I was bopping heads last night.
Yeah?
Headshots only, baby.
Will's been wanting to play.
Yeah. We can play that before, maybe before, what do you call it, Peggy shows up, because he's a controller gamer, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Maybe.
Down for a little dark.
It's like fucking annoying though, because like everyone, you were memeing about like the gaming thing, like, oh, he like lured me in with gaming, and now so many dummies in the chat are like, come on, gaming when? It's like, yeah, we're gonna fucking play video games today. Don't worry, okay?
Chat,
can you chill out?
Trolling.
Can you chill out? Okay, let's keep going.
You don't have to say where it is. You just say the number.
Just behind me over there are the massive cast iron testicles of the Wall Street Bull. Now, they represent money, and of course none of this would be possible without money. Loads and loads and loads of money. So much money, in fact, that it's actually helping transform housing from its most basic function of providing shelter into a lucrative investment strategy.
Now, to be clear, home ownership's always been one of the best ways to build wealth, and that opportunity hasn't been made equal to everyone. But Billionaire's Row takes things to a whole new level and has essentially created an entirely new asset class of luxury real estate. That's partly because there's simply a lot more money to go around. The amount of money being invested around the world has grown massively, creating what some researchers call a giant pool of cash. But alongside this explosion of global wealth, wealth inequality has grown too. A smaller slice of people now control a bigger share of the world's money, and that means the people at the top have bigger and bigger bank accounts. One place to put some of that money? Well, luxury real estate, like the units on Billionaire's Row.
And this is historically unprecedented. The amount of very wealthy people with that money coming into the built environment, it mutates the built environment. It mutates architecture.
Matthew Souls has thought a lot about this. In fact, he wrote a whole book on how wealth is reshaping our buildings.
Architecture is under a tremendous amount of pressure to satisfy the investment kind of absorption role. And that's where something like Billionaire's Row comes into being.
To really understand.
How do you get rid of places like this? I mean, the kind, gentle, and maybe the utopian argument is by taxing people slowly but surely, raising taxes and making it so unaffordable to like commodify housing, which should be seen as like a necessary resource for survival, because shelter is necessary for survival, so that like people can't utilize this as an investment vehicle. And then the more realistic argument is that building a solid base of labor momentum and radicalizing the working class once again with class consciousness to a degree where, if necessary, we reorganize our economy in a way that doesn't create such incredible wealth hoarding and create such disparate outcomes by design like capitalism does, And the way to do that is, unfortunately, the reality is through labor militancy, because we have examples, numerous historical examples, time and time again, where the people in positions of power, whether they were monarchs or capital owners themselves throughout time, have refused to give up that power that they currently have without any sort of, threat of violence or violence in general. Like, that's just how it is.
And why our buildings are changing shape, it's helpful to get to grips with a financial concept called liquidity. Stick with us, and Billionaire's Row will start to make a lot more sense.
So all assets have varying degrees of liquidity. You can think of everything that is an asset as existing somewhere on a liquidity spectrum. And at one end of the spectrum is the most liquid asset of all. That is cash. $1 US bill is exactly the same as every other $1 US bill. You can hand it off.
You know, in some way, you remind me of Vladimir Lenin. You see, Lenin literally became a Volcel. He took a vow not to drink or have sex in order to stay focused on the revolution. You are similar to Lenin in this way, in that you get no bitches. That's awesome. That's fucking funny. All right, sorry. I had to read that. That was a good chat.
End of the liquidity spectrum is real estate, a piece of architecture, often represented as a single-family home with a pitched roof.
Along that spectrum, you have things like artwork and stocks in companies like Tesla or Google.
So my argument is that the logics and practices of finance capitalism is to transform buildings in such a way that they move down the liquidity spectrum to become more like a stock, more like cash.
Enter Billionaire's Row.
111 West 57th is an
These are the NFTs of housing, is what they're basically saying.
Yeah, so like how do they like
almost turning?
Do they buy and sell these houses differently than regular places?
I mean, in the sense that like they are treated as like basically an asset that.
Do you know how?
It's an asset more than it is shelter.
Yeah. But he was saying, like, he was talking about the liquidity of the two assets and them wanting to make buildings and homes and shit, like that asset be more liquid, like a stock, like a share.
Do you know how like rich people buy and park their like works of art in airports?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so like if you look at the spectrum example,
you can come closer, bro.
No, I'm good, dude.
Come on, dude. Come on.
You would go from like artwork.
Yeah.
Which is, you would go NFT artwork building, right? All same concept, just different efforts of transaction.
Yeah, that's what makes it more or less liquid, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like obviously it's still sold, it's still bought and sold in a similar capacity. It's still real estate, but it has its like unique market considering the barrier of entry into that market itself. And more importantly, I think the argument there is that this is seen as more of an asset, a speculative vehicle, and a way to park your cash into something rather than shelter. It's built first as predominantly an asset for the mega wealthy.
But don't forget
that so that also makes sense in terms of like the way that they want to like trade and sell it is it's just like a vehicle where they don't have to worry about like the time it's going to take for somebody to move in and out because one, no one's living in them, so they just fucking are trading these buildings and whatnot and buying them up as like little money pits.
And don't forget, it's insured. Like there's no losing here, right? Unless the entire economy fails, in which case you're already screwed.
Yeah.
But like, even if the building burns down, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Incredibly tall building, but it has a very small number of units in it. All the units are either one entire floor or a unit that spans 2 floors. Gone is the hallway. You know, you're not going to smell the neighbors cooking. Maybe it's a pleasant smell, maybe it's not, but that's what social life in the city is all about. Gone are all the possibilities for that.
Now, not being able to smell your neighbour's dinner sounds kind of nice, but Matthew says it goes back to this concept of housing sliding closer and closer to something like cash on that liquidity scale.
What does this all mean? This means that you could own a unit in a building like 432 Park and almost never visit it, or maybe never go there, and you can be reasonably assured that it's going to be secure and not problematized by some unpredictable public usage.
With fewer units in the building, you can start to control more of those variables that typically make a house a non-liquid asset. There's no hallway because the elevator opens directly to the apartment. There's no backyard you've got to maintain, no street level windows to protect from vandals on the ground, no leaky roof that you've got to fix.
And you can see this across building types, not only the towers in Billionaire's Row,
capitalism going
but
too far?
condominium units in Miami, in Vancouver, in Melbourne. But
what's up?
Remember when I talked about capitalism going too far? I feel like this is what I meant.
I mean, it goes. I mean,
like Elysium
so
shit,
the thing is,
like, it's literally, let's build this building for the sake of putting our money in it because we know it'll go up in value over time. It's just min-maxing for billionaires.
Yeah, no, that's precisely what it is. But
that's all it is.
But the system is designed to get to this point, especially because the governments are. All governments formed under a capitalist organization of the economy, slowly but surely, without like genuine political mobilization and a genuine anti-capitalist action occurring, are always inevitably going to reach this state.
Yeah.
So much so that even some of the anti-capitalist actions the government takes in the form of like a more progressive tax system, for example, rather than a regressive one, as in like, you get taxed more the richer you get, right? Even that sort of stuff funds what is known as the welfare state, right? And welfare programs and things like that, which end up creating or breathing life back into the capitalist system's continuation, because inevitably the conflict between the two classes come to this point if unchecked under a capitalist organization of the economy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's always going to get to this point because the system is designed to get to this point. Right?
Yeah.
So sometimes you reel it back in an effort to like give people a little bit, just breadcrumbs, so they shut the fuck up. That's why really rich libertarians call welfare the riot tax. Do you get why they call it the riot tax?
So that it don't.
So the poors,
so they don't riot.
So the poors don't fucking riot.
Here you go.
Yeah.
A little snacky.
And basically that.
Thanks for working all your life.
Like Marxists believe that this is what the system is designed to do, and it is. It is designed to do this. Do they pay property tax at least? Would benefit the local schools. So the beautiful part about what you just described is that property taxes itself and the way that the taxes are distributed in most places in America also create a two-tiered classes system where public schools in wealthy neighborhoods end up being well-funded, having like access to greater forms of education, having iPads for every fucking child, whatever.
Yeah.
Versus poorer schools in poor or poorer neighborhoods that don't have that much property tax to offer to the school district, that has a fuckload more children to educate, end up getting underfunded consistently.
It's not like they're fucking erecting this building on 8 Mile so that DPS gets the money for the fucking property tax.
And certainly, I'm sure, considering the buyers of such properties, considering like who buys properties like this, I'm almost fucking certain. I haven't seen this video yet. I have no idea what and I don't know the background of this, but I'm almost certain that there is probably one way, shape or form, that these motherfuckers end up actually using this as a way to like lower their taxes as well. A lot of real estate developers, including Donald Trump, do shit like this because they add this into the depreciation. Like the value is like depreciating, or there is 100% of the building is actually something that you're something that you can use to cut some of your taxes. And if you have $100 million property, that's $100 million in taxes, depending on what kind of depreciation you can justify. That's a lot of fucking taxes that you can avoid paying.
Depreciation? What the fuck's depreciating?
Doesn't the U.S. I mean, I'm not.
What do you mean? The walls are getting older.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Doesn't the U? I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but I thought the U.S. tax code lets you write off the depreciation of any building in like 20 years or something.
You would know 2.7 million, right? Lil. Yeah, you got me.
It's pronounced in something like the Billionaire Row ultra-thin towers.
Even with the money and the engineering to make buildings like this possible, you can't just put a super slender skyscraper up wherever you like. Developers need permission to get their projects off the ground, and there are restrictions.
This order them? What did you say?
I had asked what the U.S. tax code, what the duration of depreciation on a building is, and I think
I don't know.
Said it was 25 years.
How tall they're allowed to build. But here in New York, there are a lot of different loopholes they can use to go beyond the limits.
To try and get my head around all this, I went to go and see Sam Stein. He's a senior policy analyst at the Community Service Society of New York.
I want to ask about incentive zoning. For anyone who hasn't heard of that, what is it? How would you describe it to somebody on the street?
First of all, zoning is the rules about what can be built where, at what height, and what width, and with how much space in between, etc. Incentive zoning says the developer can violate those rules to a certain degree if they do something else that is to the public's benefit.
Just to the west of Billionaire's Row, New York City used zoning incentives with the Hudson Yards development to upgrade the subway, create new public parks, and expand the nearby Javits Center.
Is that in New York?
On Billionaire's Row, 157 got a tax break from building some affordable housing in the Bronx, but we'll get more into that later. Remember how developers bought up a bunch of air rights to be able to build even taller? Well, the way those rights are obtained typically means the developments are able to move forward without going through the usual public or environmental review process. The Municipal Art Society of New York put together a report called The Accidental Skyline, which looks at how the current New York City zoning regulations have enabled the rise of super tall skyscrapers across the city. This graphic shows the hotspots of unused development rights in 2014 and where new developments popped up a few years later. Billionaire's Row sits right in the middle of one of these hotspots, here in Midtown Manhattan. 432 Park Avenue was able to rise so high in part because of another loophole in the city's zoning laws. Any floors used for mechanical or structural equipment don't count towards the total height of the building. And at 432 Park, roughly a quarter of its floors are reserved for equipment, not apartments. Now, there are legitimate reasons to have so much space reserved for mechanics. For one, the open-air mechanical floors allow wind to flow through the building in order to reduce any sway. And of course, you need space to store the heating, air conditioning, and elevator motors. But there's an ongoing debate about whether developers are exploiting the rule in order to build further into the sky. Is this great architecture or capitalist ambition? Can those be the same thing? Is that the very essence of New York?
For all the effort, money and planning that's gone into these buildings, it struck me just how many of the units seem empty. But once I started to look into it, it actually made a lot more sense, and it turns out there's a couple of different reasons for it. They're either unsold or simply unoccupied.
In fact, there are quite a few Billionaire's Row properties still on the market. An analysis by Sirhan found that nearly half the units in 7 of the buildings were unsold in August. That's $6.7 billion worth of condos still on the market without a buyer. That might be because what was initially unique about 157, the Central Park views, floor-to-ceiling windows, and units sprawling an entire floor, was quickly replicated by the other super tools that popped up. Now, if you're in the market for an ultra-luxury apartment in Manhattan, you have a lot more options.
They got competition.
Well, there's a lot being built. Gloss of 157 it depreciates every year that new projects come through, and there's another, it building to live in.
For years, the luxury real estate market in New York City had more supply than demand. But that's starting to change. By September 2021, Manhattan hit record high sales of luxury properties.
Oh my god.
But what kind of intrigues me more is the empty units. They've been built, they've been sold.
Also, New York City, or at least like the job of the New York City mayor since the 90s, has functionally been to purge, expel, no matter what the fucking cost is in terms of like human life or anything like that, black and brown people or poor people in general from as many areas as possible to make way for such extravagant developments and to push them to the fucking boroughs so that the island of Manhattan is basically this space for the ultra wealthy.
Well, that seems fucked.
That's literally what you do. Like, that's your job, is to just if you are the mayor of New York, your job is to command one of the largest militaries, standing armies in the world, in the form of the New York Police Department, or rather have a constant back and forth where they bully you into submission and threaten you, like the New York Police Department did to the bungalow regularly.
Wait, so like they cucked themselves now, and they've cucked everyone else, because now they're erecting these big ass buildings that people aren't buying because newer, cooler.
Well, they didn't
big-ass
cuck
buildings.
themselves, because the whole point was always for developers to make more money and the wealthy to have an asset that they can park their cash in. So that is the design of it. They cuck themselves in the form of like creating unaffordable housing.
But yeah, they cut. My bad. But I guess more so they cuck the fucking people in like the city.
Yes, they have two different. Two competing interests always.
You have these big ass buildings that do nothing.
Yeah, you're again nailing the fucking heart of the problem, which is putting profits over people. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're actually technically not cucking themselves in the form of profit. If the profit motive is all you care about, then yes, they're doing a great job. If you care about the human beings, though, then if you care about the people, then yes, they are destroying the people.
I feel like
But
calling that
nobody
affordable
lives there, at
housing
least
is
not all the time. They're second, third, fourth homes, or simply just a place to store wealth.
Now, the idea of a secondary residence isn't new. The French term pied-à-terre, meaning foot to ground, was coined in the 19th century to describe a temporary secondary.
I don't know if he's going to mention this, but I got to tell you one of the most disgusting parts of this process. So New York City, I forget exactly when they came up with this solution, but my mom talks about this all the time in her classes, and both to us. She will probably bring this up and numerous other things about architecture later when we're having dinner. It's kind of her thing. But what New York City ended up doing in an effort to combat the growing class inequality inside of Manhattan was basically state that every one of these buildings is supposed to have housing that is affordable. Now, that system is already like incredibly limited, not enough space for affordable housing. I don't know if he'll mention that in the video or not, but not only that, but also there's a lottery system there. Okay, so it's really difficult to get into one of those houses regardless.
Let's go. They're playing Squid Games.
And wait for this.
That's what's up.
They have separate entrances for the poors and separate elevators for the poors.
The separate elevators, I can see the logic there, but separate entrances is screwed up.
Yeah.
They have poor doors.
Poor doors.
Yeah. Residents. Today, that's come to represent second homes, usually apartments, in cities away from the owner's primary residence. Every few years, the City of New York does this big housing and vacancy survey. In 2017, they found there were 75,000 pied-à-terre properties across the city. That's up from 55,000 in 2014.
So 75,000 units are vacant.
Where most billionaires,
like for the most part, 75,000 units in New York City are vacant for most of the part, and it's just like a summer home or a secondary apartment that the owner rarely ever visits.
Wait, vacancy is
roughly half of the single-family homes in
Is unoccupied or not?
Everything's up.
Look at that. He's saying it. Look.
Oh.
Roughly half the single-family homes and condos aren't occupied by their owners.
Aren't occupied by their owners. In the rest of the city, the owner occupancy rate is closer to 75%.
True.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that all these units are sitting empty. They could be rented out by their owners who live elsewhere.
How long have you and your mother been lied to about New York, Lamau? Account created 5 hours ago, following says 10 minutes ago. I'm sure this man will enlighten us about affordable housing units that are built into some of the New York. Oh, never mind, bro. Oh, nice, dude.
That one was creative.
Yeah, that was really good. Oh, he didn't even wait, bro. He just like
brackets.
straight up.
I can respect that.
He just straight up dropped. Oh, never mind, dude. Good one.
Well, he made us laugh, I guess.
I wonder if Twitch will ban that person from the platform. I wonder if that person will get a ban on the platform. Very creative, dude.
Gotta be honest, I didn't see that coming.
What's up?
I didn't see that coming that fast.
Same.
You know?
But none of the Billionaires Row developers would share their occupancy rates with us, and this data gives us a glimpse into how the area around Billionaires Row compares with the rest of the city.
Of course, there's more to owning a property here on Billionaires Row than simply having a place to stay on your trips to New York. You can also score a pretty hefty tax break.
Oh, here it comes.
Hell yeah.
That's partly because of the way condominiums are valued here in New York. You'd think the value of a property on Billionaires Row is the price you can sell it for, right? Well, no. This is New York City, and there's a tangled mess of laws to make things complicated.
Here, condos are taxed as if they're a rental apartment building. But the problem is, no one's really renting a $100 million apartment, so there's no benchmark for what the rental value would even be. $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month, there's no precedent for something like that.
It's not
So
$10,000
what ends up
a month.
happening is the Billionaires Row condo is taxed the same as a unit that's worth a fraction of the cost.
But that's not all. Ultra luxury can also have another massive tax break through something called the 421A exemption. Now, we know that talking about the US tax code is not why you clicked on this video.
Wrong. That's precisely why I clicked on this video. What the fuck are you talking about, homie? That is exact. Give me the tax code.
But as boring as it sounds, it's actually a really big part of the appeal of Billionaires Row.
The 421A tax break was originally introduced in New York in the 1970s as a way to encourage developers to build residential housing. That's because the city was concerned about people living for the suburbs. Now, the rules have changed a lot over the years. Today, it's been rebranded as the Affordable Housing New York program. Essentially, developers can get up to 100% of their property taxes erased for a set number of years if a fifth of their development is classified as affordable housing.
By the way, the guy that spammed the N-word was literally saying that what he's describing currently is wrong. Like, what this man is also describing is what I was describing, and
I think you're giving him too much credit.
But despite none of the units in 157 being anywhere near affordable to a non-billionaire, it still benefits from this tax break.
How?
And so if you can defer most, if not all, of the monthly real estate taxes to the developer,
Wait, sorry, so
and then also
is the
pass
definition
that
of
on
affordable
to
just
the
like
owners, then the buyers would just jump on these options left and right.
The New York City Independent Budget Office actually did a deep dive into 157's use of the 421A exemption.
I lived in a lottery apartment in Manhattan. There is not a pour door. Other tenants aren't told who is a lottery recipient or which units are lottery units. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it might not have happened. It might not have happened in your situation, but there is one that, I mean, there are definitely ones that, like, have it, okay? A pour door is a separate entrance to a multi-unit housing development for those living in expensive apartments. The term was coined by the local news site West Side Rag in August 2013, where it is used to describe a new development in the Upper West Side of Manhattan that has separate entrances for the more expensive market rate affordable housing tenants. What the expression pour door refers to is a separate entrance in lobbies. In practice, income segregated buildings may also have gyms, spas, elevators, rooftop gardens, storage areas, and playrooms that only the high income tenants can use.
In my experience, must not exist.
What is that? I don't understand what's going on.
I'm sipping fucking copium. Like, dude using his anecdotal experience to like.
They might have ended up banning the practice. They might have ended up banning the practice, but the article says de Blasio went after the concept. Now the low income is another building altogether.
Oh, so they were just like, fuck it. We're just gonna put you guys.
Separate but equal.
We'll just make a different building.
Opinion: city has gone from allowing poor doors to permitting poor buildings.
Let's go.
So they were like, oh, it's tasteless to have a poor door, so we're just gonna make it seem like what the two buildings are actually in unison, side by side. So we're just gonna make your own fucking real estate.
Wow.
Bro, I work somewhere with poor doors, not even in New York City, but elsewhere in NYS at a university. By the way, they have, I mean, they still do it. It's like, by the way, that's if you're lucky. Don't get me wrong. People would love to fucking live in a poor door apartment. Don't get me wrong. You get to live in a fucking luxury real estate in an incredible fucking neighborhood. You know what I mean? There's waiting lists that are like years long. The lottery is like multiple fucking years long. So, you know, don't get me wrong. This is straight up like exciting for people to get into that poor door apartment.
In order to qualify for it, the developers built 66 units of affordable housing in the Bronx, miles away from Billionaire's Row. The IBO estimated that exemption will cost the city $65.6 million in property tax revenue over 10 years.
Hey, yo, who's running
Still,
this
it
shit?
found the way the state of New York values its condos provided an even greater tax break to 157's owners than the affordable housing exemption. Extel, the developer behind 157, didn't respond to our request for comment about the IBO report. These tax discrepancies don't just happen on Billionaire's Row. Bloomberg found that one $2.1 million condo in Brooklyn came with a tax bill of just $157. Meanwhile,
nice! That seems nice, dude.
Condo in the Bronx, worth roughly a tenth of that, paid nearly $4,000.
So the poor person living in a fucking Bronx apartment, like, or the upper middle class or middle class person that lives in the Bronx, or has like a fucking family home or whatever, is paying more than the developer is paying because of those incredibly fucking juicy tax breaks that you get.
The 421.
But hey, dude, these guys are, hold up, guys, you have to remember, those are the productive guys, okay? Those are the guys that Elon Musk and the entirety of the media tells you are the most productive forces in our economy. The mega wealthy, the ultra wealthy. If not for them, who would build these condos? Who would put people inside of housing? Who would own the luxury real estate? That's why they deserve those tax breaks, because they're the job creators. But the risk, dude. But the mega risk. All right, Kopiya Jonathan. Peggy's here.
Who? Peggy. Hypers. Is this water for anyone? Can I go with this?
Yeah, no, it's yours. Chatters in the poor building.
That's wild. I'm learning so much. I love coming.
Tax
here.
abatement cost the city.
It's like school, but like
fun, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's the whole goal, man. That's what I try to do. If I was them, I'd buy out the people in subs and build condos, which are normal living. What?
The $1.7 billion.
Oh my god, that's a cute ass dog. Holy shit.
That's a cutie pie.
Oh, he's old, but he's still cute.
Hey yo.
What's good? No older?
Oh, nice shirt. Hello.
Is that a Detroit reference?
Yep. Ford.